What's going on, people? Welcome to 137 Works, and today we're having a look at Graffism for its September update 0.4.8. This is a big update. This is the first train that we have in the game as far as I'm aware. We've had all the different kind of spots as far as the train station, the rooftop, the skate park that came into the previous update, and then previously we've had the truck, the container and the canvas. But for the first time ever we have a locomotive, which I haven't actually viewed in person in VR yet, so I'm really excited to try that out. Just a quick note before we get started, I'm not going to include this time the webcam of me kind of like, you know, where you can see me in real life kind of moving around and stuff like that. I basically had an absolute nightmare with video and audio desync and having to find a place. It adds on like an extra like 20 minutes to 30 minutes to the editing time of the video to try and sync everything up, and if there's any kind of delay or lag in the recording, everything falls out of sync. So I don't think it adds enough to make that worthwhile, but I also will listen to your feedback. So if you as the viewers want that, I'll absolutely bring it back in for the next video. But just for now, in the interest of speed and just kind of getting up to speed and kind of, you know, showing you what's new in this update, I'm going to leave it off just for now. So with that said, without further ado, we are going to get in and load up the locomotive and have a look at it in VR for the very first time. Okay, here we are, and that is huge. This is something that I think people don't really realise about trains, is the absolute size of them. Because we obviously, most people that aren't like writers and paint on trains and stuff like that, they would only see it from kind of here on up, where it's roughly about your height sort of thing, like maybe a half a foot higher. But to actually stand down below, like you would have gotten a lot, anybody who's played Kingsbury would have gotten a lot of this kind of like, you know, you would have been familiar with that. Yeah, like they're enormous things. Trains are huge. Like this is a locomotive, which is an interesting choice for the first train. I would have kind of assumed that you'd get like a carriage. That's the more traditional thing that people paint, obviously. It is cool. It is detailed. You can see all the mechanical electric boxes and stuff like that down here. I feel like you can reach out and touch them like I just did. All the kind of markings and numbers. Is there any way to climb up and get up higher other than using the ladder, I wonder? Okay, well that doesn't get you up much higher, to be fair. Now my crouch is broken. I think they are aware of a bug at the moment where the crouch isn't working. So I'm trying to press crouch and kind of hold it. So there's two different modes again, just as a side note, if you didn't know this. Obviously you can press B on the right stick, on the right controller to crouch. But there's also, if you hold B for 1 second, you actually go and gain, I think it's a 2 feet or 3 feet of height. So that helps you kind of reach the higher walls and stuff like that. But it doesn't seem to be working there now anyway. But yeah, so that's the first thing in this update, is the train. The other thing is that we now have, is it on when you're holding a can maybe? Yeah, there we go. Sick. Okay, so we now have the quick cap selector, which is going to cut down on a lot of time because you're painting away, and then, oh crap, I'm on caps. I go back to can because I want to use a big one. And then, so basically to do this, if you just click the right analog stick, you get this little radio menu, and then left and right goes between them. So you can go left and right and select the can that you want. Maybe having the names might be handy, considering those two caps look the exact same. So maybe having just some kind of clear indicator for exactly which one's which, just to help some people. But yeah, that's an absolutely brilliant little kind of implementation that they've put in there. Really happy to see that. So that's going to just be a quick time saver. Again, the last thing that we would really need now coming in would be some kind of pick color from the wall thing. That is in the plans as far as I know. But that kind of, it just in and of itself is, the choppiness when I spray because I'm recording is less than ideal. But yeah, that's just kind of a quick, and then if, yeah, like I want to do something huge and go bold, so you go bush. Oh, that's this from the recording. I was messing with the settings and I thought I'd set it on the right thing, but I must have messed up the setting somewhere along the way. Yeah, no, really, really cool. But again, I'm going to try and I'm going to restart the game, change some settings, bump down to resolution, so I should be able to paint a nice little kind of simple piece with decent quality and have it kind of more representative. But before that, the last thing that they've done is, again, the fact that I'm recording might hinder it a little bit. They've done some serious refinements to the paint mechanisms. This is, I'm guessing, based off some stuff that they've learned from the, I'll tease it here a little bit. I got early access to play the game on Steam for the PC release, so I've actually played it a little bit on Steam on the PC. They've got a setting in there, I won't go into the details, I don't know how much I can say, but they do have a setting on the Steam release that's supposed to help mitigate fast. So again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, when you move really fast in Graffism, it comes out with these kind of dotted lines, which are just kind of not great, not nice to look at. It's not how paint works in real life. And they've implemented some tools that are kind of meant to mitigate that, essentially. So the idea is, if we tested it, this cap, the skinny cap, is the worst offender, just because, well, I just can't give a reason, but I don't actually know why it's the worst offender. It's the skinniest line, so maybe that affects it or whatever. But in theory, the fact that I'm recording is going to affect it, keep in mind, but in theory, this should be a big improvement of painting quickly with this. And you can see that it clearly is. That at any other stage before this update would have been like a dot, a dot, a dot, a dot, a dot. They've made a serious improvement to that. Like, and again, with the worst cap in the game, like, and I'm recording, so just keep all this kind of stuff in mind. So try it with the banana cap. It's still there, and that is a very extreme example. I'm really kind of messing with it there, so that's not how you'd actually really paint for the most part. Like, painting quickly though, while recording, it is mostly pretty much sorted. Like, oh, it's game crashed. What's happened there? Hello. Okay, apologies about that. Yeah, don't know what happened there. The game just kind of crashed. It's actually, which is, I will say, that's been the exception more than the rule in my experience. The game actually does really well as far as reliability goes. Of course, there's performance issues and choppiness occasionally with, like, if you're recording and stuff like that, could be optimized and stuff. But generally speaking, as far as reliability, I've painted, long pieces over the course of an hour or two, and never had an issue. So that is unusual. I will be reporting that in the kind of channel that we have for the beta testers. But yeah, that's basically just that was unexpected. Kind of caught me off guard. But that's essentially what I was saying, is that in theory, I also did reload the game in a kind of a better resolution now, so hopefully we should be able to get a better idea of the test that we're trying to do. So I think that's what we had, a banana cap. So yeah, that's, again, it's much better. It's still not perfect, and I think, again, I hate to bring up the competition, but Kingsbury doesn't have this issue at all. So again, this is a great first step, and again, we're on 0.4.8, so come on, give them a bit, cut them a bit of slack, like. But that is a huge improvement in just a couple of months, as well as all the extra work that they're putting in. The fact that they are nailing down kind of this problem as quickly as they are really bodes well, because again, it is less than ideal. Whoop. Yeah, still getting some stuttering here from the recording. That's another thing that I'm hopeful for when the Steam game comes out. It's not perfect just yet. Again, I don't want to say too much about it because I haven't actually asked if we're allowed to go into detail about the Steam version. There's no big secrets there. It's essentially the same game, but just to be able to kind of record at better quality and also not have this choppiness because of using dedicated hardware. Obviously, that's going to be the kind of the dream going forward. But yeah, unfortunately, a little bit choppy. But that's kind of it in the main for the kind of updates here. They've had the new kind of map, if you want to put it this way, the train, the locomotive, and the spots. So again, to get to it, paint shop, spots, locomotive, it's the front on the option there. They've added the quick cap selection, which again is fantastic, just a quick real-time saver. I would just again like to see some kind of clarification about what exact cap that you're using. Just a little piece of text underneath each one, either side or whatever. And then yeah, some major improvements to the kind of the dotty line effect that you get from using the caps a bit quicker than the game might have been expecting you to, is probably the best way to put it. But yeah, I'm going to just kind of quickly shut my mouth and do a quick piece and just kind of like see how something looks on the actual train, and I'll play that in a time lapse with some music or something like that to end the video. But that's about it. Shout out to the guys at Graffism, VR-Right or V-Right or however you pronounce it. They are doing incredible work. Again, it's a small team as far as I know. There's only a handful of lads on the team, and they are keeping to their roadmap. It's what I keep saying. It's the reason why I'm recommending this game over Kingsbury to anyone kind of like going forward. It's the fact that they have made a roadmap in the first place, and as it stands, they are still sticking to it and are still holding to it. Again, slow and steady improvements, but improvements nonetheless. And their clear communication. Again, even just like this, they only announced this within the last hour on the Discord. I asked them if we could do content on it. Absolutely. They're not trying to hide anything. They're upfront about everything. They're in communication and telling us what works and what doesn't work. I've asked for details about like the Steam version, like where does the Oculus default kind of setup compare to the Steam version, so I could test settings and stuff like that. No questions asked. They immediately got back to me with the details on that and stuff like that. So they're doing absolutely fantastic. I just can't recommend the game enough. There is always that worry of like don't buy the promises from down the road, but they've already shown in this first couple of months since the game came out that they're sticking with it, that they're committing to following it through with it, at least with the early roadmap. So Steam release is due this month. This update will, I'm sure, coincide with the Steam release. So we will have the Steam release, the caps, the better kind of smoother mechanics, and this new train to kind of paint for everyone. But yeah, but that's about it. Just again, huge shout out to the lads behind this game. Absolutely fantastic. And again, thank you for the access to kind of play these things early as being a part of the beta testing group. It means a lot, very appreciated. But that's it. Yeah, so I'm going to kind of do something random. That'll just be a time lapse to some music, a beat that I'm working on or something like that. And yeah, we'll call it a day there. So that's it. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for watching, and goodbye. Oh, I can't do thumbs up.